Hey guys, I wanted to give you a disclaimer for this episode and episodes to come. Not everyone's going to say exactly what you want to hear. Not everyone's going to have that exact verse or quote that you need to motivate yourself. You won't agree with everything I or any guest on the show says. I just want to say, we're not sorry. Enjoy yourself and stop taking life and podcasts so seriously. It'll make life a lot easier for you. These conversations aren't published to defame, hurt, or mislead anyone. We're here for an entertaining and educational time under God Almighty. And that's all. All right, enjoy the show.
Now, I'm not an expert fisherman, but I used to go fishing all the time with my grandfather. And it was something that we would do. If we were there in the summertime, amen, he would tell us, hey, I'm leaving early. And if you're not ready, you're not going, amen. He wasn't going to wait on you. He wasn't going to remind you. He wasn't going to do anything for you. You had to be up and ready to go, amen. And then when you got out there, praise the Lord, wasn't no complaining, amen. Somebody, it wasn't no I'm ready to go home. It was you're gonna be out here all day long. And sometimes we would go out there and we would catch a whole bunch of fish, amen, and we would bring them back. And then other times we would go out there and we wouldn't catch a thing, amen, somebody. But even in our failure, it never stopped my grandfather from wanting to go fishing again. And so I went fishing with Brother Daly, and I'm watching Brother Daly, amen. And I mean, this brother he is hot. I mean, he's Steph Curry hot. Every time his hook hit the water, he coming back with a fish, amen. This brother catching fish that aren't even in season. And I'm sitting up here and I'm looking at him and he's making it sound so easy. He's telling me, oh, Brother Ford, you gotta cast it at this angle. Well, I'm casting it at this angle. I'm coming back with nothing, amen, somebody. I try to do my own thing. I'm coming back with nothing. Every time I look up at the top deck where Brother Daly is, he coming back with another fish, amen, somebody. And I'm sitting here and I'm perplexed, amen, because we're fishing in the same lake. I'm using one of his rods with the same bait, and I'm not catching anything. But watch this. This is how Jesus works. Sometimes, even though you might not catch anything, he still provides an abundance enough to where everybody leaves with something. Now, here's the beautiful part about this. A lot of times we miss our blessing because the blessing wasn't on our proverbial hook. So now we don't want it, amen. When in all actuality, the only thing that we really need to worry about, that if it's Jesus in our boat and I leave with something, I ought to be okay with leaving with something, because it's not me who got it, it's Jesus who provided it. And so we see something very interesting in this text. We see that this is a situation where Simon is fishing in his boat, but the blessing that comes from Jesus pushes him to have to signal a lot of other folk to come and help him drag the blessing back to dry land. I need us to see something. Just because the blessing isn't in your boat doesn't mean you can't be a part of the blessing in itself. This is the major problem that we face in the church today. We become so selfish and self-interested that we don't want anything that doesn't belong to us, when the blessings that happen to other people could be a blessing in our life too.
I know preachers like the mic, so
yeah, no, I'm just holding it, man.
That's what I like holding. It's
That's easier.
It's just easier.
Because sometimes I like to lean.
Yeah. Okay, so we are rolling right now. Okay. But I was saying, like, feeling the call to be an evangelist or having that gift, it's like easier. What I've seen the most is people just don't dig deep enough, which is why it stuck with me, because there's been plenty of times in my life where I just don't dig deep enough or trust God enough. And I feel like people are comfortable with what they know about God instead of going into those deep waters. You were even saying in that lesson, you were like, forgive me if I'm paraphrasing, but like Peter, he was like master, like we've been out here all day, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and at the same time, I will do what you're asking because you said it.
Right.
And I just think in America, first world, really, like we're comfortable enough to where we don't have to do that, and we're missing out on so much. Like,
well, I think convenience and dependability has just really killed a lot of our ability to be or to dig deep as we should.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of, I don't want to say given, but handed out.
Yeah.
But we do have there's a sense of handout in America that doesn't exist in a lot of places. I mean, if you think about like my grandfather, your grandparents, our great grandparents, like a lot of things didn't happen unless they put the work into it.
Yeah.
Like even something as simple as eating every day or eating in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we can just go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Like we can figure it out. But like when you have convenience can destroy our ability to dig deep. And but convenience, we live in a land of convenience. People like convenience. And there's nothing wrong with that, but
it becomes wrong when it becomes your default.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes when I like try and intentionally fast, that's when the devil's really like, all right, I know you hungry, so I'm gonna throw all these food items at you, or somebody's gonna come in with something that smells good or something like that.
Yeah.
But even like fasting from like talking to yourself negatively.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's we can conveniently have that negative self-speak.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of comparison and the amount of convenience it is to do that. And I just think it's a hindrance, man. I'm not saying we got to go off the grid or nothing like that. Even it would be helpful for some, probably me.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we had a mindset shift of like we're afforded this stuff.
I think you still need to like take time away.
Yeah.
From everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. Like I know a lot of times people don't do that, but you need time to recalibrate. You need time to think. You need time to adjust. Was it not 2 summers ago?
Okay.
I went to Summit, New York for like 4 days.
Is Summit like
It's in upstate New York. It's like an hour from Cooperstown. There's nothing.
Really?
There's nothing there.
Just trees.
Just trees and vacation houses.
Not a Walmart in sight.
Yeah, nah, bro. You got to drive about 40 minutes to get to a grocery store.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I was there for 4 days. So we got there. We had to get all the things we needed. Mm-hmm. We needed food for those 4 days. It wasn't like I could just jump in the car and just drive 50 miles just to get some bottled water. Nah, you had to prep. You had to prep for it, and we had to do what we had to do what we had to do what we could what we had. But it was a recalibration. I read probably about 3 books in that 4-day span. I sat outside most of the time. But you gotta have those moments to recalibrate. Like, cause if you don't, you'll go crazy.
I go crazy when I can't see stars. Like, you know what I mean? Like with all the light pollution and everything like that. What was it like out there at night?
I could see all the stars.
Man.
But you know the crazy place I couldn't see stars?
Where?
Was when I was in Ghana. And it wasn't about pollution.
Wait, what?
I guess it's just because I was so close to the equator. I didn't really see stars. And I didn't see the sunrise. It was a trip.
That would have messed me up.
I don't know if I wasn't waking up early enough because like you're at the equator. Like you're literally very close. So it's just like 6 o'clock hits and the sun is like in the sky. And at night it's extremely dark.
I can't even fathom that right now.
Yeah, it's very dark. Yeah, but no, it was peaceful. I mean, that was the most peaceful I've probably been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was peaceful. It was slow. It was fast but slow at the same time. Like I was able to choose my slowness. Whereas here it's like hustle, 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 hustle.
Yeah.
It's just the way the world works.
Yeah. And we'll stem into that more, but I would like you to introduce yourself, even though
we're just talking, man.
No, that's what I'm saying, but people got to know who you are because it's important.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, obviously my name is Vince Ford, and so the moniker online is Vince Ford too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm the second. So my dad his name is Vince Ford. He's Vince Ford Senior. So I'm the second, but I'm Vince Ford too. And then I actually have a cousin named Vince too, and then my son his name is Vince. He goes by Vinny.
Is he the third?
He's the third.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So preacher. I care about community. I care about the future of the next generation of Black young men.
Yeah.
I care deeply. I have a huge affinity for that. Spend a lot of time helping with the development of young Black boys, man.
I saw that. It's called Man Up and Educate,
Yeah,
right?
Man Up and Educate.
I signed up for it.
Okay,
I did.
Right. Cool. I could use you.
Yeah.
Definitely come out, have some time to speak to the kids. I like to bring people in to talk to the kids. I was an educator. I taught middle school. I taught third grade. Preacher, author. I love music, rapper, poet. There's just a number of things. Father, husband. My primarily, a lot of my time goes into ministry, and really trying to just infuse some positivity into the community, whatever way that looks like, whatever the need is for the community at that time. So,
yeah,
man, that's me. I mean, I'm a brother. I grew up in a house similar to yours.
Yeah.
I have 3 younger brothers. My parents, they divorced when I was about 12. But my dad lived in close proximity to us, so he was at football games. We spent a lot of time with him. There were some day-to-day things that I feel like we didn't necessarily get, but nonetheless, my mom is, I tell people sometimes I don't think my mom is real.
What do you mean?
Yeah, man, I don't think she's real, man. This lady, she's a captain in the military, single mom.
Oh, God.
Master's in nursing. She's in Kenya right now. She's done, health missions in Kenya, Honduras, Kuwait, Dominican Republic, Guyana, Ghana. Like she's just done a lot of stuff to give back. And like she just doesn't slow down. Yeah. So that's why I tell people all the time, like, all right, like my mom, I'm like, man, like one day she gonna like take her mask off and be like, yo, I'm a robot. Like I just but shout out to my mom, man.
She sounds like AI.
Oh yeah, man, for real.
Oh,
but yeah, she's accomplished a lot. And she's a huge inspiration for me.
Thank you for that. But I want to take you back a little bit.
Okay.
What was your first memory of like really being in servitude of somebody?
That's a great question. Man, honestly, I remember in the 3rd grade, we went canvassing for Vacation Bible School.
Canvassing? What
canvassing, like we were passing out flyers in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Vacation Bible School.
Okay, I didn't know that's what that was called.
Yeah, and we were canvassing the neighborhood, like we were handing out flyers. And I was like 8, riding on the back of this trailer, man, with a whole bunch of brothers from the church. And we covered the whole neighborhood. And that was kind of like the first time I remember like getting out, meeting people in the neighborhood to do ministry. Service, man, like really, even like since I was young, my mom has always made us, we had to volunteer. I remember there was this lady at my church I grew up at. Man, I had to be about 14, 15 years old. She was an older lady. And we would go over there and just help her with certain things around the house. Her and her husband they were elderly. And I remember one time, she was just like, yo, she didn't say yo, obviously. She's an older lady. She was like, I need some help moving some hats. And I'm like, some hats? Cool. Man, I get over there, man. This lady had, man, one of her bedrooms looked like a Dillard's, man. It looked like a department store, bro. She has so many hats and clothes and all sorts of different things, man. And
a Goodwill.
We helped her move the hats. Like she was putting her summer hats up, getting ready for her winter hats because, that's like Southern women really take dressing up for church very seriously.
Yeah.
And we could take that conversation back into, the enslavement of our people. But yeah, man, just helping her, like cleaning off, like helping her with her yard, all kinds of stuff just as a kid, we, my mom always made sure that we helped them out.
Yeah.
So I would say about 14, 15 was like the first time I remember like actually, and then always, just helping my grandma with various things, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I did my research on you. You're like a good dude.
Thank you, man.
You're actually like a good person. You remind me of my dad a lot. No wonder why you guys get along. Like,
yeah.
But it's kind of uncanny, like how much knowledge you actually hold, because you're actually being modest right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a couple degrees too.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny. It made me think about that, man. A friend of mine, she told me.
Yeah.
She's like, listen, you need to be a little bit more expressive about your accomplishments, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got multiple degrees, man. I went to Southwestern Christian College. I got my first degree there. That's kind of really what opened me up in the ministry, taking those Old Testament survey, life and teachings of Jesus Christ, all of those types of classes. And then I went to Stephen F. Austin and got a bachelor's degree in political science. Thought I wanted to go to law school. My professor actually was like, yo, you should consider a master's in public administration. And I thank him for that because he knew me better than I knew myself as an educator. Man, I went and got a master's in public administration. The funny part was I was going to do the traditional route with grad school. But man,
I dropped out of college. So what's the traditional route?
Well, I mean, like, at one of the brick and mortar institutions.
Right. Okay.
But I got married. So, and, we had a kid. So it's like I needed flexibility. So ended up going online back in 2011 to get my master's degree. Then, man, I didn't send you this one, but I also have a master's in special education too.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
So, and I always talk about that. That degree is a priceless degree.
No, it really is.
And the reason why I said it is because my youngest son is on the spectrum. And I did it because at the time I was teaching a class that was inclusive. So I had kids that were, these savant geniuses that were bored, and I had to find extra things for them to do. And then I had other kids, man, that had, some challenges with learning.
Yeah.
And so it prompted me to go get that degree, not knowing that I was going to have a son that was going to need assistance with learning too.
Yeah.
And also, this gave me an opportunity to really be able to navigate the educational system from a different lens.
Right.
So that, these teachers, and I love teachers, but what I am saying is that you have to advocate for your kids. So
as far as like making sure they're getting the proper training and respect.
Training, respect, resources.
Right.
Intervention.
Yeah.
Like all of those things are really very, very important.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents just don't know where to start. And so really one of my, main things is like, not an official thing, more of an unofficial thing. Some of my friends that have kids that have some challenges with learning and certain disabilities and things like that, or superpowers, like I like to call them, helping them navigate that, telling them what questions to ask, telling them what to say yes to, what to say no to.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, people are just doing a job. And when you do have a teacher or a school that advocates for your child and loves your child and wants to see your child succeed, do everything that you can to keep your child in that system.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. I feel like a lot of people on the spectrum don't get enough credit for being geniuses.
Yeah.
They'll tell you everything you need to know about like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right? They just need help tying their shoes or something like that.
Bingo. I mean, they can watch something, listen to something, turn around and be able to quote it from start to finish. May have advanced mathematics skills.
Yeah.
Literacy skills maybe through the roof, but there may be some motor skills that may have some challenges. But bro, I think honestly, we would be a better society if we would have, if we would have been honest about things earlier. Because I feel like in the Black community, we are just now being honest with ourselves. And I think that's because a lot of the newer parents, my generation and younger, are starting to be like, nah, something's not right.
Right.
So where there's, oh, no, they'll be fine. And, just a little different. Like, nah, like there's resources out there. Like you can really go and get your child the help they need to where they can succeed and not feel less than.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may not create any differences in the home, but people create differences in the real world.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is I can be as inclusive as I want to be at home. It's my house.
Right.
Right. But a group of third graders,
Okay, I get
you know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
They may not be as inclusive.
Right.
And their parents may not be as sensitive or empathetic to various needs.
Yeah.
So therefore, championing for your child, advocating for your child will show them a sense of respect that they need when they walk into unknown places.
When you say it like that, it made perfect sense.
Oh,
yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about like these completely AI schools and everything like that?
Yeah, man.
They're like scoring in the higher percentiles than regular schools.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
But that makes me think about people on the spectrum, how fast they can actually learn nowadays, and how much they can actually. Because you can be like, you could say for your son or whoever, could be like, oh, hey, my son has this type of disability. Can you explain it? Can you explain this concept as if you had this disability? And they can pick it up. They can even say it to you, read it back and everything. So it's awesome, man. I really do respect that. The one time I really sat with a kid on the spectrum, he was nonverbal. I was working. I used to be in social work and everything. And the way he would communicate without saying words was like it could bring me to tears right now even talking about it, because like they just understand the world at a completely different level than us. I would say a more spiritual level, because they have certain handicaps. If you can't articulate yourself properly, you're going to figure out another way to say it. Dude, that's awesome. I did not know that. See, you should be more expressive.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's one of the, I would say it's something I struggle with.
Okay.
Because in the construct of Christianity, man, there's like humility is one of those overarching principles, right? Sometimes you get caught up in that.
Yeah.
And I didn't really realize it, man, until I went to therapy. And my therapist was like, you got to chill with the faux humility.
Man.
Like, she was like, you're actually a very talented individual.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of great things going for you. You need to start speaking to those things.
Yeah. Isn't humility just knowing your place?
Yeah, exactly. But see, the thing is like a lot of times we don't even look at it from that perspective. We just assume people championing themselves is a sense of arrogance.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah, depending on how far they go with it.
Very true.
You get a Kanye West, yeah, that's pretty arrogant. Even though he's technically I'm gonna ask you about what a musical genius actually is. But like when you get into that term of like, hey, I'm this great, that is a certain like illness to that.
Yeah. It's called pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Is that like, you can be extremely skilled and still a humble person.
Yeah.
I think about some of the greatest athletes to walk the earth. A Deion Sanders, for instance.
Yeah.
Right?
Is he humble?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I think he's just very brash, and I think people don't like it. But I think he's extremely humble.
He loves brandishing what he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, he's like one of the greatest football players ever walked.
Yeah. But that's the thing, bro. They and this is obviously why I wanted you on. Like, you have such a rich knowledge of not only like God, but of Black people in general in America, but across the world, really. Like, we can't be arrogant.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield can.
Baker Mayfield can.
Like, but
Johnny Manziel can.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel, he deserved to be arrogant. Johnny, did you watch his documentary at all?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
He deserves to be arrogant. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, he came from, some very interesting beginnings.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, man, is that they're gonna move the goalposts.
Yeah.
And it happens in real time. And it's quite odd to me whenever I see people blatantly ignore it.
We look crazy pointing it out.
Right.
They're like, you don't see them being racist towards Shador?
Right.
And they're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, he is kind of brash. It's like talking to a brick wall. It really is.
Yeah, but the problem is that also it's not just it's us too.
What do you mean?
In some regards, sometimes we can be our own worst enemy because we'll fall into that trap of, oh, he should be humble and he should know better and he should
Crab in
this
the
and he should do
bucket.
that.
Yeah.
Not thinking, and of course, this is, we not gonna just be talking about sports, but we might, you never know. But
Yeah.
anyway, but what I am saying is, I think we forget how immature and how we thought at these ages.
Okay.
I mean, these are young men.
Rich men.
They are young, rich, but they're like between 19 and 22.
Yeah.
I guess my expectations of a 22-year-old are not that high. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that I don't have high expectations for a 22-year-old. What I'm saying is that I don't expect a 22-year-old to get it right every single day.
Right. Or say the right thing, in front of seasoned journalists.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or,
that are twice, 3 times his age.
Yeah. Or people on social media just like frothing out the mouth to say something to you.
How many third-string quarterbacks do you know who've been interviewed?
Yeah, I don't know. I like off the top of my head, I really can't. Like, I would have to look it up.
Are the Cleveland Browns that bad to where you have to go and interview the third string quarterback? And I'm not, and I know it's Shadur, but what I'm saying is that I'm just looking at it from a perspective of, you see the impact this young brother has.
Yeah.
And you move the goalposts because you refuse. Even you asked his dad.
Yeah.
After practice, I think it was yesterday or today or whatever. Hey, what do you think about? And he said, man, I don't give a darn about the Cleveland Browns. I'm worried about the Colorado Buffalo.
But that's freaking, that's arrogant. That's right. Arrogant though. Right, that's kind of right. Arrogant.
You're right.
So it's a dichotomy. Like, yes, we should be able to call it out, but at the same time, like, I feel like you're saying giving people more grace at these ages or these positions of power, really.
Especially the ages.
Yeah.
And we could swim down the river of the adultification of black men.
Yeah.
Of black boys.
Yeah.
They never really see us as playful or as children. We're taught at a very young age by the older generation to fly right, stand up tall,
speak when spoken to.
We're taught manhood at a very young age, as black boys, and that adultification even happens in public too, because I hear people say things like, "Oh, your children are so well behaved," and I'm like, "Well, what else do you expect them to be?"
Monkeys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For the most part, right?
Yeah. Like, sorry for people listening who might got offended.
You gotta apologize for that. I mean, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, you expect, so when you tell me that, my mind goes to, you expect my children to cut up.
Yeah.
And that they don't, now you shocked. But it's just this adultification, man. They do it to young black girls too. That's why
it's worse. It's worse.
It is. And I am very adamant about kids being kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my sons this. I told them, I want y'all to be kids, man, as long as y'all can. Like, don't rush. Keep playing with Legos. Yeah. Keep watching Ninjago. Keep playing Lego Marvel Superhero. Keep going outside. Keep riding your bike. Keep being a kid.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be an adult a lot longer than you're going to be a kid, man. And so, I don't want my kids to rush into growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Be mature, but I don't want you to rush into adulting. You have a lot of time for that.
By adulting, you mean like just willingly taking on responsibility?
Yeah, okay. Willingly, the seriousness of that portion of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, learn as much about yourself as you can before you move into a period of responsibility and obligation at that level.
Yeah.
I'm going to still teach you responsibility, service, and accountability. I'm going to teach you those 3 things. But what I don't want is, I don't want you to engage in things that's going to bring obligations to you that's going to rush your life.
Yeah.
And I say that a lot to them.
I appreciate that, because my dad instilled all the same things. He's a little bit older than you too. But my counter to it is, like, how much of classism do you think plays into racism?
I think it's the evil twin sister.
Mm.
I think that's why they created some of the economic disparity that they created.
When you say they.
I mean, white folks, like white
Okay.
supremacists, not all white people, but
Right.
that classism has been created, and whichever way you fall on the spectrum, classism or racism, they're byproducts of each other.
Right.
Colorism, systemic racism, all of those different isms, and phobias and xenophobia and misogyny and all of those things. It is a byproduct of evil,
Yeah.
and it's a change of heart has to happen, man. That's the biggest thing. We speak to the action, but we don't speak to the heart. And so one of the things that I try my best to do on a Sunday morning, especially when a lot of people ask, they're like, man, how do you navigate these tough topics? And I navigate them because they're matters of the heart. That's the thing. People have been taught these things. These things have been instilled in them.
Yeah.
I told my buddy the other day, like the playbook, the playbook of um of racism, it hasn't changed. The formations have changed.
Yeah.
It's just like football. You used to run the wing T, wishbone. Then athletes got a lot better. You got linebackers that are faster than running backs. Oh, we got to spread these jokers out.
Yeah.
All right, now we about to run the spread. We about to run all of these different veer and shoot. All these
Right.
different, I think, in hip hop and football. So,
Right.
so that's the thing. So what I mean by that is, yeah, man, it's a byproduct. You think about it. Disinvestment attributes to classism. In neighborhoods like the one we're sitting in right now, there's a huge amount of disinvestment that goes into these neighborhoods. And what happens is when you disinvest in it so long, people cannot afford the upkeep. So what do? They leave.
Yeah.
They leave.
Yeah.
Or if I keep the price stagnant in the suburbs and inflate the price here in the hood,
They'll just move here.
what I'm gonna do?
Move
Oh
here.
shoot! If I'm gonna pay $2,200 for a house, I might well move to the burbs.
Yeah.
Right. So now you see influx of flight. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see an influx of a lot of these corporations. I saw a thing today, man. Like I think it was upwards of like 70 some percent. I gotta look at the statistic again.
Yeah.
That like of multifamily dwellings are owned by big corporations.
Well, yeah. No, there's actual other stats to back that up too.
Yeah. So it's just like you got to think about it. Then if I'm a multi-billion-dollar corporation investing in these properties, I'm not looking at this. I'm not looking at apartment 201 as, oh my gosh, there's a single mother there working 2 jobs, raising 3 kids by herself,
Yeah.
can't afford groceries, but make too much money to be on food stamps, can't afford, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at vacancy
Numbers.
and
Yeah.
occupancy,
Mm.
right? I'm like, oh, she 3 months later on rent, she gotta go. Cause I got this young college grad, who can pay this amount, right? You do what you need to do to get up out the paint, right? And so racism and classism are byproducts of each other. And I also think this too, and this could be a little controversial.
Mm-hmm.
I do honestly believe that people that will lean into this idea of classism, that it's a bigger problem, I feel like that's a crutch.
You mean like okay, it's more so classism than racism is denying the problem.
Right.
Right.
Because
Okay.
I feel like there's this big pot. The enemy has this big pot of evil gumbo. And classism is in there, a pinch of racism is in there, a pinch of murder is in there, and all of these things is in there. And it goes back to hate. It goes back to evil. It goes back to this idea of selfishness. And man, that's I always have kind of looked at it like that just because I've been on both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
I attended a HBCU, but I was also the only black kid in my class till middle school.
Mm.
I also was in, out predominantly white schools, but I had that other side of pride on Sunday morning when I went to church.
Yeah.
I had the other side of pride when I went to my grandmother's house in Abilene, Texas, and my grandfather was a 20-year Air Force veteran, and my
Yeah.
grandmother, you know, was an entrepreneur, but also worked in like engineering field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I saw affluence, I saw disparity, but I also saw what it took to navigate in those rooms, no matter what room you're in.
Right. The
And
core principles
those
that
core,
keeps you ahead.
right. But
Right.
no matter where you at,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's some principles that will be able to get you, like Jay-Z says, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know, you got to learn how to move in a room full of vultures.
Yeah.
Industry is shady. You need to be
That's
taken over.
what album is that?
I think there's a Blueprint. I think
It's either Blueprint or Watch the Throne.
yeah, one of the two. I think it's the Blueprint.
Yeah.
It might be the Black Album.
That's my favorite Jay-Z album. Did you need to take that call? We can pause at any point.
No. I don't need to take the call.
Okay.
I want to fact check this.
Yeah, no, you good. I'll keep talking. Like, so I remember I went to a PWI college, right?
Mhm.
And I remember there not being as many black people there, right? And there was a multicultural organization I became a part of that made it their job to go out into the community of Saginaw, Michigan, and bring people into the school,
Mhm.
right? Like initiatives. Like we would spend hours a week planning certain programs and initiatives and like features of the school that could get highlighted for people to feel like they were at home or to feel like they had a piece of this while getting, you know, probably the first education, higher education their family ever gotten, right? Like even though my dad went to college, they still consider me a first generation college student. And I was like, that's weird. Yeah, I was like, it. But again, it's a white person telling me this. So I'm like, how true is it? You know what I mean?
Right,
And when I say how true is it, that goes for anything that somebody you don't trust is telling you.
Mm.
You know, I was thinking while you were saying about just how hard it is in the adultification of like black children and everything, like even algorithmically, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go, I guarantee you go onto your children's Instagram explore page, it will be mainly white women on there. I can 100% guarantee it because it's not black people making this stuff, right? The crux of the argument I have is, and this is also I wanted to have you on, like, because there's so many factions of like black wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, like as far as like the Nation of Islam, 5%ers, black Israelites that see the black man as God, right? Mm-hmm. And being a black dude, I'm like, all right, that's lit. Yeah. But at the same time, we believe in Christ, in Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's like, have you ever struggled with that at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
I specifically, my dad probably, you can ask my dad, but he probably doesn't remember. Like there was one time me and my older brother, we were watching like a Britney Spears music video back on MTV. Mm-hmm. Walked in the room. He was like, you guys like the way she looks? And I was like, I mean, yeah, she's pretty. And he was like, give it a few years, you'll understand why I even asked you. Years later, down the line, it resonates so much more because I'm like, oh, it's people's jobs to dehumanize and de-beautify black people.
Absolutely.
And it's like...
So I'm so glad I went to Ghana, bro.
Yeah. You know, what was that like as far as how you saw black people in their original form, for lack of a better term?
It was the first place that I was not reminded that I was black. I just existed.
Yeah. I can see why you preach, dude. That was just profound.
I mean, the first time I ever just felt like a human being.
You don't feel that in America?
Nah. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it doesn't matter how many degrees I got. It doesn't matter. People don't change their perspective until I tell them what I do for a living.
That's just racist.
This is my point. So what I'm saying is, and people are always surprised. They're always surprised. Oh, wow. And it's because that programming, man. That programming that we aren't supposed to achieve at this cap. Right? We aren't. Like it's if you look at my background, I know grace and mercy exists because I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Right? My mother was raised in the projects.
Yeah.
My mother was raised in the hood.
This is the white person's argument for God, though. But it's for God, but against black people specifically, but minorities in general, because they'll be like, "See, this guy made it," and it's like that's not the point.
But that is the I forget the term of it. There's a term for that. It's exceptionalism or something like that.
Okay.
So like you'll see it all the time, right? Because no matter how high
tokenism,
exceptionalism, no matter how high LeBron James jumps, he never out jumps the story of Akron, Ohio.
But that's his story, though.
I know it's his story, but the problem is that white America will use that story to say, "See, if LeBron can do it, you can do it." And I'm sitting here like, LeBron is also 6'8", 260 pounds. It probably runs a 4.40. You know?
Yeah, now.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, even
so
now. Yeah.
There are some innate things that God has blessed brother LeBron James with that he didn't bless. You see what I'm saying? Or you look at a guy like Deion Sanders. You know, we'll bring him back up. Right? They're like, "Oh, Deion is from, his mother was poor and da-da-da-da-da. She did this and that." Yes, very true. But he's also 6'1", 190, 4'2", without stretching.
Yeah.
He's a freakish athlete. And I'm not saying that negates anything because I believe that individuals of that, there is a sense of, there's an acumen. Like, there's a reason why you see a lot of these, like a Travis Hunter, for instance, individuals like that perform so highly in the classroom.
Yeah.
Because that stuff translates.
Yeah, literally.
It translates. Angles, algebra, being able to memorize plays, like all of those things, it translates.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, back to Africa, is that I just felt like a human being, man. And it was funny too, because you see even the essence of where a lot of food comes from.
I'm listening. I'm all ears. Hold up.
So peep game.
Yeah.
The best fried rice I ever had in my entire life.
From Ghana?
Ghana, bro. The best fried rice I ever had.
Really?
The best. Hands down.
Okay, hold on. You kind of blowing my mind. Hold on. So, I know, and again, for everybody who doesn't understand, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're coming from the knowledge of humanity being from Africa.
Right.
So, okay, right. So, fried rice, you could fry any rice, but you would typically think it's a Chinese thing.
Yeah, you would think it'd be Chinese food. You think Chinese food. Just like when you think salsa, what did you think of?
Mexico.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I went over there and I asked for hot sauce, you know what that lady brought me?
Salsa?
Salsa, bro. Salsa that she had made with peppers that she had bought from the market to make hot sauce. Wow. That I put on my eggs in the morning.
It was fire.
And it was fire. And I felt like I was back in Phoenix, Arizona, eating breakfast at one of these little Mexican tiendas, these little stores or whatever, man. Like, yeah, bro. Like, but it kind of brought a lot of things to realization for me, because I watched this show called High on the Hog on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it talked about the essence of a lot of foods that we have come from. Well, you got to think about a lot of these things, bro. The transatlantic slave trade, we went a lot of places. Those skills traveled with us. We didn't just go to the Caribbean and to the southeastern part of America. We went to South America. They had slaves in Asia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we went a lot of places. And so when you think about those things, again, you take that with you. I mean, history books even talk about the fact that there's a lot of things agriculturally the Europeans did not know how to do. There's a lot of things agriculturally that a lot of people, the Spaniards, did not know how to do. And so we brought those tenets of agriculture and engineering, is really what it is, engineering to these places. Like when you look at a situation of even like some of our colleges, if you look at a lot of our colleges in the southern part of the United States, You have your Prairie View A&Ms. You have your Florida A&Ms. You have your North
What
Carolina A&Ts.
what does A&M mean?
So agriculture and manufacturing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so these are all
I didn't know that.
engineering schools.
Okay.
Right? Tuskegee, these are engineering schools. These are schools that were literally birthed out of the innovation of Black people as engineers and inventors and innovative thinkers. And so it's no secret why you see these things, you see us flourishing in these fields
Yeah.
for a very, very long time. But you also see us flourishing in fields like, literature and writing and arts and, and being extremely dominant in those areas as well.
Yeah. How are you not bitter?
I'm not bitter because the simple answer,
yeah,
I'm not bitter, man, because I love God, bro. And that may sound cliche, but that's why I'm not bitter. And the big thing is, when you live your life from an angry place, you don't get anything done. You don't get anything done. Collaboration and resentment cannot coexist.
Okay, so you're saying a lot, and for the people that are still listening, right? I'm gonna break it down into probably simple terms from what people who have heard me before understand. Like when you say because of God, I remember specifically, like after listening to Kendrick Lamar, learning about all this stuff, I was like, dang, bro, I need to find somebody to hate. You know what I mean? And after a while, God's like, hey, that's not how I called you to be. You're supposed to have joy, my joy specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's honestly sad when you say you don't feel human in America when it wasn't built for Black people, right? It was built for people to feel and be themselves. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you can't feel or don't feel that, it hurts because you would say that you're saying that to me and it hurts. You say it to somebody who was born, bred in America, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? You're essentially breaking down their reality.
Yeah.
It's where or how or what did you read? Or was it just a culmination of your knowledge and wisdom that you gained from God that stopped you from being bitter? Because my question is, do you think that like Black people specifically, do you think will grow better and more if we let go of the fact that we don't have to be bitter because of God?
Well, also, I'll preface that by saying we also have to provide experiences for people to experience life outside of their trauma.
Right.
Like if you're somebody that grew up, there's some people that grew up in certain neighborhoods that never leave their block. They go to school, they come home, they don't leave their block. So they're surrounded by that trauma, which leads to hypervigilance on a daily basis.
Okay.
Right.
Hypervigilance as far as like making sure you're safe. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I always gotta look over my shoulder. I'll never forget this, man.
Yeah.
And I can use his name. He's not gonna trip. And as a matter of fact, I'll send this to
I
him.
can blank it out if you want.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
He's from LA. It's my boy DC, DeSimian. And we went to college together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget. You know how it is in college, man. You sit in your dorm room, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. You're like, man, I'm hungry, bro. And he was in my room, and I was like, hey, man, hey, walk with me to, I don't know where we was going. I think we were going to like A&W or something like that.
Man, a standalone A&W.
Right? Tells you what kind of small town I was in. It was an A&W on one side and a Long John Silver's on the other.
All right. I thought you got a standalone A&W.
That would be fire. They had some fire burgers, and maybe I was 21 and had bad taste buds. But
that was my first job.
No,
my dad got me the job at Long John's and A&W.
Really?
I swear. Yeah, you can ask him. Yeah.
Did you work at the one up here?
It was on North Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
It's a Popeyes now.
Oh, okay.
Ironically,
right? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But anyway, so we walk in there, and like as we're walking, he like keeps looking, over his shoulder. And I'm like, man, what you doing? You're making me nervous.
Yeah. Which degree was this?
This was my first school when I went to Southwestern Christian College.
HBCU?
Small HBCU in Terrell, Texas.
Okay.
We're walking, and he keeps looking over his shoulder, man. I'm like, bro,
stop tweaking. Yeah.
You tripping, man.
Stop tweaking.
And he was like, "Oh, no, no, no." He's like, "Man, I'm not used to walking at night." The
Mm.
part of California he was from, when you was in the house, you was in the house. It wasn't no walking to no store. You got to cross different, gang territories and all
Yeah.
those types of things. So that hypervigilance, that was like really one of the first times. And I remember being in a training when I was getting my trauma informed care certification,
Mm-hmm.
and she explained hypervigilance to me, and I instantly thought of him
Wow.
because I was like, "Oh, that's what that is." Because his sense of safety had not come yet because he had just got to a new place, so all he knew was where he was from,
Yeah.
and so a lot of those things are intentional. You have to think about this duality, especially as a black man, because you are constantly right. You can be in a state of hypervigilance, and then on one end, and on the other end, you could be in a state of where people are afraid of you too.
I can't say that that's black people's fault though.
It's not. I'm not saying that it's our fault.
Right.
I'm just saying that this is like the duality that we live in. Whereas you can live in a state of hypervigilance, and then you go to Kroger on the nice side of town, and somebody may clench their purse.
Hmm.
What I'm saying is like you have to be able to navigate all of those realms in order to be successful as a black man in this country. When I went to Ghana, that did not exist. It was everybody was, "How you doing? What's going on?" Talkative, inviting. Now there's still people gonna be people.
Yeah. In
You gotta
general.
be careful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
You're still a tourist. Yeah.
you're still a tourist, right? you know,
They'll get robbed. Yeah.
yeah. So you're still a tourist. So people still have biases and assumptions about you. But what I am saying is like, man, I don't think I've ever felt that safe in my life.
Wow.
I felt safe, bro. Like safe, chilling.
Wow.
It was a phenomenal time and
Yeah.
a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Beautiful people.
Do you think that safety is achievable? Like even in America's current state right now for somebody who's black, me, because I feel honestly, to be quite honest, I feel very safe. Like
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
completely safe in America. Not all the way, you know what I mean, but like where I go, where I normally reside, like the people I hang out with, no matter their color, I definitely feel safe, and I feel like there's a comfortability in knowing that people look different and are different culturally,
yeah.
and that's okay. But I also grew up in a very diverse town. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like people will say it's not, but like they're comparing it to what their framework of safety and diversity is from what you're saying.
Well, we all have a lens, right?
Right.
We have a lens. So I always tell people that my lens is extremely black, right?
Yeah.
I serve at a predominantly black church,
Yeah.
right? I'm a part of a historically black Greek letter organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
My wife is black.
Mm-hmm.
My children are black. My mama, my dad, my family, we all black. So my frame, my reality is consistently through a black lens.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean that I know how to coexist in other spaces because I
Right.
do.
And collaborate.
Right. And I know how to collaborate in those spaces and work with other. I work for Columbus Public Health. I work for other nonprofits. I've done a lot of different things. I don't harbor a sense of resentment or hate because that is dangerous too. To just have this implicit bias so high that you assume that all people are the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that will damage your ability to move forward to have a peaceful life as well.
Right. Um. Dang, bro. Yeah. No, this is why I'm so glad we're recording because people need to hear it from somebody who has a predominantly black lens. Like, I will be very honest and vulnerable. Like, when I've done that, right, had that lens, put that lens on, like I've gotten correction from God not to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Bible talks about how God's impartial, right?
Yes,
So we should be the same way. Now, at the same time, I feel the very heavy weight of making sure I go out of my way to make sure black people I don't know feel seen, right?
absolutely.
There's this little girl at a softball game, right? She's the only black girl on the team, and her parents were there. They were both black, and I'm hanging out and with my wife and the family that she nannies and everything like that. I made it a point to go up to that little girl and was like, "You did a great job."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at work, when I was in school or in the grocery store or anything like that, I would make it a point to make sure I talk to black people, or at least know that they know that I see them and I know what's going on if they're frustrated at a certain point. But I do the same thing for white people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's where my struggle was for a long time. And I feel like, honestly, a lot of white people are at the same struggle. They're like, I know the things of God and I know I'm supposed to have these attributes, but I can't get over my bias, or I can't understand why people can't understand that I look at a black life the same way I look at a white person's life. Where were you when you when you figured that out for yourself?
Man, 6th grade, man.
That young?
6th grade,
Okay.
yeah, man. My best friend in the 6th grade, Drew Norwood. Yeah, man. White dude, red hair. We still talk to this day.
Okay.
Heck of a football player, man.
Yeah. Position?
A linebacker.
Okay.
He's a heck of a football player.
Very predominantly white position.
Yeah. By and large, right?
Yeah.
And that may be intentional.
All right. All right, come on, man. He's throwing low jabs at this point.
Nah, man, I'm messing with you, man. No, so no, man. I mean, it really opened my eyes to a number of things. I grew up in a very diverse,
Yeah. You did say you were the only black kid in your school for
up until middle school.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to middle school, man, I had friends from like all walks of life, man. I had, friends. I had Mexican friends, white friends, black friends. Our school, the number of different cultures.
Yeah.
At our school is, when I got to high school, and it's opened my door. Even from experiencing culture from another place too. I mean, because we had a number of West Africans that lived in my neighborhood. So understanding that culture too, albeit a lot of similarities, but there was a lot of differences.
Yeah.
And so it really, and really being able to just see people as human beings has helped me a lot. And my mom instilled a lot of these tenets in me, man. My dad too, like, cause he can speak to watching his brother experience desegregation in high school.
Golly.
My mom can speak to, this is the same woman that made me read the autobiography of Malcolm X summer of 3rd grade, bro.
Oh, don't skip ahead.
Yeah.
We getting there.
Yeah, man.
In 3rd grade?
3rd grade, bro.
Isn't there a bunch of Islamic words in there?
Yeah, absolutely, but it's history, man. My mom,
okay.
She'll tell you this. If she was sitting right here, she would tell you this right now. She would say, you know what? We focus a lot on the trauma that we've experienced as a people. She would say this, flat-footed in the living room. She said, we're going to focus on celebrating our people.
Yeah.
And that's what she did growing up, man. Like, it wasn't she was very adamant about the celebration of blackness, right? And then as kids, bro, we had to like do work. Like before we got on a video game or went outside, it's like, yo, go get that book 30 minutes. You need to learn about this.
That's awesome, yeah.
Right? So we read a lot of different things. I remember she bought this series of like they're like these illustrative stories, allegories.
Yeah.
Right? She bought this set. I don't know where she got it. It was like this set of all of these different allegories from like different cultures. And she brought it home, got it from a garage sale, and we had to read it.
I would have bought that too.
Yeah. It's still in my old room, But yeah, that was my mom, man. Like she made us, like, we had to buy into like literature and reading at a very, very young age. So, and celebrating our culture. And I think that's why I believe that's why I'm able to maneuver through a place of praise and thanksgiving, rather than this place of horror, disdain, and resentment.
Yeah.
not to dismiss the heinous acts of violence that my people are still going through to this day.
Yeah.
That we have to worry about things like lynching and police brutality
Still.
and
Yeah.
all of those things to this day,
Still.
man.
Yeah.
But
Digital lynching.
right,
Yeah.
right. So also, I know for a fact that we still have the ability to celebrate a number of great things, and I believe that the way that the world has been conditioned, we lean on negativity a lot, way too much, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I'm learning how to curate my algorithm, because there's sometimes where friends will ask me things and I'll be like, I ain't even seen that video. Sometimes I just spend an hour hitting not interested, not interested, not interested, to try to curate an algorithm, man, of positivity, man, because, man, negativity will get shoved down your throat. And that's to put you in a state of fear. That's to keep you walking around in a state of fear, from my perspective.
No, it's fear. That whole Charlie Kirk thing like threw everybody for a loop, but specifically white America, right? And I, did a lot of talking to people who are Caucasian and everything like that, and they were like genuinely hurt, and yeah, for good reason. But like, I forgot who I was talking to, but it was a few people. But they were like, "Yeah, he's a martyr, this, that, and the third." And I'm like, "Well, where are you getting that from?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Well, he died for God." And it's like, me knowing what an actual martyr is, I can give these people a little grace because they're in an emotional place about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you say something like, "Hey, was Martin Luther King a martyr?" They'd be like, I don't know about all that because X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, do you see how quick you are to call somebody who is not white not a martyr? Radio silence. It is like that. The issue is more so of opening your eyes, dude. Like, literally, if we can get behind Charlie Kirk dying, we can get behind Martin Luther King actually dying for something.
Yeah.
The guy that killed Charlie Kirk, they say, grew up in a Republican like Christian home and all that good stuff. And I heard people in rhetoric online, they're like, well, that doesn't mean he accepted it and all this good stuff. And it's like, y'all are missing the point of this person was raised in a home like you and murdered this person. Yeah. So it wasn't for God. It was because he hated who that person was.
Like, evil, man.
Yeah, it's evil at the end of the day. But they'll give you every which way and reason why Malcolm X and Martin Luther King didn't get murdered for an actual reason that God wanted them to be down here.
Yeah.
Definition of a martyr, somebody who actually suffered for God or suffered for something. I can make the argument Charlie Kirk didn't actually suffer for nothing. Like, he was using his privilege to push the word of God, which is what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, like, I would love to know not where you stand on it, because I don't want to get into all that, but like, where do you think that change will come, or will it? Like, I'm talking on like a corporate level, like with white Christians being like, all right, I see what you guys are saying. This entire reality of America was set up for us. Cool. We're going to have a change of heart, start helping y'all out on a spiritual level. And from there, from that heart posture change, it'll trickle down into everything else. I ain't giving up on reparations yet, but at the same time, I know the current power structure is not going to hand it to nobody.
There's like there's research that shows that this plan that Dr. King had come up with was this socioeconomic plan to really rebuild and essentially restore what had been destroyed.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk wasn't talking about none of that.
Right.
He was not. I'm sorry.
And you can't disparage Black women. You can't disparage a group of people and hide behind
the word of God,
or even the Constitution. You can't hide behind that from a perspective of now what you're doing is you're isolating biblically. You're isolating text to meet your narrative, and
demonic. That's demonic.
That's demonic. Yeah. And that's what slave masters did during the transatlantic slave trade in order to expand westward, to call things like manifest destiny. all of those various things that happen in those times in which they removed pages from the Bible so that people wouldn't see the liberation that exists in the text.
Right.
Um,
Jesus started with the
right,
poor.
right,
Like,
right. So, and then if you think about that, like even reading the book of Matthew, you see that before we get to Matthew 5 and we see, you know, all the Beatitudes and all of those things, at the base of that mountain, he cures and heals people of all sorts of ailments and diseases.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the time, you got to think about it. You have more of a homogenous community during those times because ethnicity was based on geography. And so where is your discriminatory practices usually happen?
Oh, that makes sense.
With people who are disabled, with widows, right?
Yeah.
With people who are orphans, right? So Jesus' big motto was, hey, let's take care of the widows and the orphans. Hey, let's heal the lame man. Let's help the blind see, because they're the disenfranchised of society.
Right.
Right? And so the inability to parallel that to today is based on the fact that people just don't want to.
Godly,
because
I did not want you to say it.
No.
It's true though.
Because it's true. So self-interest has driven us to a place where we don't even talk to people who live next door to us, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when we look at that, when we look at someone like Charlie Kirk, I also believe that two things can be true at once.
Yeah, literally.
Right? You can mourn the fact that a daughter and a wife have to grow up or live knowing that their loved one was shot and killed on in the media, right? Publicly.
Yeah.
You never, that never leaves your mind.
Yeah.
That's etched in your memory forever.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, how dare one be as disrespectful to align him to the work of someone,
dude, literally,
who Dr. King or Malcolm, or Marcus Garvey or Rosa Parks or
low-key even Tupac, man.
Right?
We're being honest.
Yeah, facts. Because that's my thing. Like, you got to think, like, we see Dr. King for like the March on Washington, and we see Selma, and we see all that stuff. Man, this brother was up speaking for sanitation workers.
Yeah, literally.
In Chicago.
Yeah. And you know what's racist? Them putting out how much he cheated on his wife. That's racist.
Yeah.
That doesn't, I don't care if it's true. Like, there's so many more white politicians in power or white activists in power doing worse things. Like, you know what I mean? That'll never get discovered.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it goes back to the idea of, if I can pollute the water, then I can get you to waste your time being distracted rather than really being focused on what's really going on.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say, man, I'm not arguing with nobody on social media, man.
You're better than me.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do it, man. There's 16-year-olds getting pulled out of gas stations and convenience stores because they got shot inside of these gas stations here, man. There's people, lives being lost, man. People being murdered, man. Kids don't have no food to eat. All of these things, bro. Like, and then the crazy part about it is, I'm seeing young people walking around aimlessly, loitering during the day. And I'm reading articles that saying, you know, there'll be a shortage of 500,000 tradeswomen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
2030.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they project it as 2030, but that's the number now.
Yeah.
Like,
ain't that crazy though?
It's not, because people don't even read. You know what I mean? So if you have to be able to have enough literacy to see where we're going.
We also, I think we demeaned those professions to a place where they weren't respected.
Because it's not swag.
But the funny part about it was, I know a journeyman welder, and he lived in the same neighborhood as politicians back in Phoenix. I know it. He's one of the elders I installed. Man, this brother living good.
Yeah.
Living good. Yeah. Is he dirty when he come home from work?
Don't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But house fire, right?
Yeah.
Other elder I installed, man, work power plant, tradesman, living large.
Yeah.
Because man, see when you that's the thing. When that's another thing. When you think about these systems, man. I love what my first principal said, man. The system is built to get the intended results. The results that it's getting is the intended results that it was supposed to get.
Yeah.
But I can't waste you talked about something earlier, man. When we get to a place where we understand the value of unity as a people,
Yeah.
I think we'll change a lot of things.
My friend said that best. He was like, you look at a computer and you can understand that the computer has so many parts, but you can't tell the computer is only going to do what you tell it to do, and it has to work in unity.
Yeah.
We can take a break if you want.
No, we ain't gotta take no break. I was looking at my keyboard.
Oh,
I was like, look at this. When you look at this computer, right?
He's looking at a computer for those who are listening. Right we don't have video. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna walk through this. I'm gonna walk through this illustration for all of the auditory learners, the visual learners. But yeah, man, like the screen, someone say that's important. But bruh, let me be missing that K key.
Or the space bar. Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think we don't find importance in things until stuff is missing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the community, when we bring in people together, we have to get to a place to where that K key or that space bar knows they're important walking in to the room.
Yeah.
And I think that's imperative. There's so many ways to gain success, man. There's so many ways, and I just think that we have to get to a place to where we do things that we feel called to do, that we love to do, and not necessarily worry about, is this, how is this going to look from, man, forget society, bro.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time, man. I think about my grandfather. I think about, man, my grandfather was a truck driver, man. He drove truck, wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, driving trucks. But he did it with pride.
Yeah. Because he knew it was providing. Yeah.
I went with him one time.
Yeah.
And, I consider myself to be a very strong person.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I could not throw them chains over that trailer. I couldn't do it.
They're like 40, 50-pound chains.
He did it with ease. He just went on the other side, locked it down. Other side, locked it down. Man, I couldn't do it.
Over the actual carriage of the
carriage
truck.
Of,
okay.
Yeah,
dang, dude. Yeah. What was it, an 18-wheeler or something?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He was strong.
Yeah.
That's just strong.
Yeah, I mean, but you talk about a man who took care of himself and ate well. He I remember he would go swimming a lot at the rec center. Like that was his thing. I know you swim. I remember you telling me that.
I do love swimming.
Yeah,
Can't swim because of my braces right now.
Right,
but,
we gonna get there.
Yeah,
we all good.
I'll be back in a couple
you'll
years.
Be back in no time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, man, I think we there's a depreciation of those fields, man, and I'm telling young brothers all the time, man. I'm telling them all the time, man. Try your best to find something that you're good at.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, because the more consistent, I always think about it when sometimes I'll look at some of the podcasts that are most successful.
Mm-hmm.
Man, some of them got 700-800 episodes. You do anything 800 times,
you're going to get better at it.
You're going to get better at it, man.
True.
You're going to get better at it. That's one thing my Olympic lifting coach, he always tells me. He's like, most people tell you, man, you train 10 years to become the best lifter that you could possibly be. And I was like,
it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Or like Usain Bolt said, I prepared 4 years for 9 seconds.
That's just fire. He also pictures spiders when he runs. Like, he said no, seriously, because
I'm listening.
He's from Jamaica or Ghana or wherever he's from.
He's Jamaica.
Yeah. The last episode, the guy's from Jamaica too, so it's ironic. But he was like, yeah, they were like, well, how do you run so fast? He was like, when the race starts, I just picture giant spiders running behind me and it makes me go fast. I promise you, I can show you what he said.
That's wild.
Yeah, but he said something super profound, but
that's still dope though.
Yeah,
he found his inspiration.
To your unity point, and that's something New Life Church has been teaching a lot lately. It's just unity. And they're like, something that really stuck with me. They're like, yeah, we got to get back to looking at the Bible as a mirror, and reading the verses about the fools and about the things you shouldn't do. Match that up with yourself. Look at it as a mirror. Yeah, I think on all sides, on all ends, but specifically like what we were talking about, the white Christian folk looking at people who don't look like them, they have to put that mirror up and be like, am I being impartial? Am I being loving to my neighbor? Who is my neighbor? Let me not sugarcoat who my neighbor is. I live in the same ghetto that this person lives in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if we do better at looking at our own hearts, which is the basis of Christianity, we can then ask God, A, for repentance and forgiveness, but B, the wisdom to move through and operate in life properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let me take a break because I had pee.
Oh, do you think?
He like kind of took me under his wing and everything like that. And just the way he operated as a Christian man, because I would ask him like, what are you doing here? Because like, you're obviously like smart and all that good stuff. And he was like, yeah, this is my second job. He has like 5 or 6 kids or something like that. And that was inspirational to me because I'm like, this dude will literally do anything for his family. Like literally anything. And I see that in my dad. I see that in you. I see that in my mom. Yeah, I see that in your family and everything. Like, it's amazing how much people in those tradesman jobs and everything know about the Bible and about life. But somebody who's like super degreed up and everything like that, they're low key silly. Like, they're just like.
And all that getting, and all that knowledge, and all that getting, the text talks about, make sure you get understanding, man. Because we can attain a lot of things and walk away ignorant.
Yeah. There's another like family I got to introduce you to, but David Mahan. I don't know if you know who that is.
That name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, well, the guy I'm talking about is his son.
Okay.
But his dad, David Mahan, is in politics and everything like that. Really good dude, really stout about the Bible. Their whole family's awesome. But David Mahan, his son, made the book Foolish Genius or The Foolish Genius. And it talks about how to be a change maker in the age of knowledge and in a wise society. And he compares a change maker to the common man. And he's like, the common man is not stupid. They're not lazy. They're nothing like that. They just don't know these key and core principles to become a change maker. And one of them that inhibits people from being change makers is the more mindset. Meaning like, are we recording? Okay, yeah, we are. But you can't just like throw more at a problem.
Okay.
It's like you have to be process oriented. And if you don't have the time and resources or the energy to do it, if you're in survivor mode or hypervigilance, you'll think just adding more of what you already know how to do will fix it.
So that, not to cut you off.
No, dude, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is what inspired that Drop Your Net sermon.
Really?
Yeah.
I think are you talking about it like inversely, like you need to do more? Because that's what you were saying.
No.
Okay.
What I was saying, what I mean by that is that, I mean, what more could Jesus have done to show Peter the value of following him? Right?
Nothing.
Right. But in the previous chapter or the previous part, you see that Jesus heals Peter's mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. He's done that. They know him. They've heard him teach. What I was saying was a lot of us are on our second yes. And what I mean by that is like Jesus has asked us to do something for him, to trust in him and have faith that everything is going to work out. And we have this idea of more. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I really, really, really want to buy a house.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to buy a house for my family. And I was under the impression that, like, all right, well, if I go get another job, I can make the money to buy the house. But what I didn't realize was being out of the house that much hurt my sons, because there were things that they began to drop the ball on and suffer in because I was not around.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And my first call is to my family. If I'm not there, I'm not handling my call because of the inability to trust God with my finances.
Yeah. You were really talking to yourself.
Oh,
you
for
really,
sure.
And I noticed that, like,
Yeah.
when you're preaching and everything, I'm like, oh, like, this is stuff you've said to me in passing before. And I go back and I listen. I'm like, oh, you're literally putting it all out there.
Yeah.
I love that about your preaching style.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're awesome at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't, you know, there's a scripture, man, that I live by, man, in 1 Corinthians, man, chapter 9, where Paul is like, man, like, to the weak I became weak, like, to the Jew, I became a Jew, like, I became all things to all men that I might win some. You can't evangelize, you can't connect with people unless you can build a relationship and relate to them.
Mm.
I'm not telling you to compromise your morality,
Right.
but what I am saying is building a bridge, because a lot of people want to be where you are. They just don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
So whatever state you meet them in, you have to ask yourself, what does the bridge look like?
God dang, bro.
What,
that was
for
just
real.
good. Yeah.
For real. No, think about
that's true.
it. Like if you got a homie and he's just like enamored, like, Mark, man, I love, man, you got married, bro. Man, you love your wife, dog. Like, this is dope. Man, I want to, man, bro, I can't, he say this to you, I can't wait till I find somebody that, will just see me and love me and be my companion and my help me. Okay, cool. What does that bridge look like? Because a lot of times we think we can prepare inside of something, and that ain't how it work, man.
Prepare inside, what do you
Like,
mean?
what I mean by that is like, we'll say, all right, I need, like, with marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Man, instead of me using these analogies, let me just say what
I mean, you're doing great. I'll do my best to break it down.
No. Here we go. Here we go. So, like, for instance, right? Society, like, we've been told, and, hey, man, get married, settle down.
Yeah.
Right? But if I got trash sexual discipline as a single man,
nah.
I'm gonna have trash sexual discipline as a married man.
Wow.
That's just because I stand in front of my family and I look her in her eyes and I tell her I love her and she look beautiful and her hair is done and she got the white dress on and there's a cake that I like in the back and we got all this food and we about to dance and there's a DJ and then we going to the Cayman Islands the next week. That's cool. And it's going to be fun. And we're going to take selfies and I'm going to post it and I'm going to do a vlog about my experience. But bruh, if you don't have the sexual discipline before it's something you got to prepare for, man. So what does that bridge look like? All right, let me give myself a little bit of time so that I can prepare myself for this covenant, right? It's not a magic wand that you wave over somebody, man. It says, all right, I'm married now, so I'm just, a player. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
And so,
dang, bro.
So when you meet people and God always puts you in position to meet people at various points in your life. So either they're going to build a bridge for you or you're going to build a bridge for them. Or y'all might be building a bridge together for somebody else. But what I'm saying is like, people that desire the tenets of holiness that you are expressing, regardless of where they are, when I read that text in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, I became all things to all men that I might win some. Who is he winning them to? Jesus. Regardless if they are eating food that was sacrificed to idols, because he talks about that in that chapter too.
Dude, the Corinthians were wild.
Wild.
too. He was like, hold on. He was like, I heard again that y'all are messing up.
And then think about how humble this is.
What's up?
That I got to defend myself to y'all. And y'all know y'all wrong. Paul literally spent a large chunk of those letters defending himself as an apostle to this church.
I don't think it was. It might have been Corinthians, but he was like, we literally slaved for y'all essentially.
Yeah.
So we could be blameless.
Right.
I don't know if that was in Corinthians.
It is.
Okay, cool.
Chapter 8.
Cool.
Yeah,
my
chapter
dad
8.
and uncle taught me well.
Yeah, for sure. I know they did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he was like, we literally worked, and I live by that one. I'm like, when it comes to the things of God, you literally want to work to where people are like, I know God is real because of how you lived. So is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, because in verse 8, he was like, basically, he's like, should we not enjoy the finer things of life? Because we, like, golly, could we not? Should the man of God not be able to have a lovely wife, bro? Like, he basically was saying that I can't. That's the funny part, I really try. I try hard to humanize myself, man. I really do, and that's the funny part because I'm always like, it's always funny when people are like surprised that I do certain things, like that. Like people are like, "Oh, have you heard this album?" I'm like, yeah, I heard it. They're like, really? And I'm like, man, do you think I just sit in like a robe in the middle of my floor reading my Bible all day? Like,
I mean, to give them some grace, there are certain pastors and monks who probably do that, but at the same time, you have to have a very solid knowledge of God and a spiritual base to be able to consume the things of the world at the rate you do.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I also have to know too that if it is something that offends my brother or is an obstacle for my brother or sister, then I need to protect them. That's what true service is, right? That like me and my son will talk about this. So me and my son, he's 16. He loves he wrestles, he boxes, he loves like MMA, hand-to-hand combat, all that type of stuff. So we went to go see the Smashing Machine, and we were talking about it, and like in the movie, and not to spoil it, but in the movie,
you can spoil it. I'll probably still watch it.
Yeah,
I'm weird though. I'll watch something that somebody told me whatever.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
Same. It don't bother me.
Yeah. Literally.
So in the movie, obviously Marq is dealing with addiction.
Okay.
Right. And like him and his lady are arguing, and like she pulls a pill bottle out of and pops 2 Advil like right in front of him.
Oh God.
Yeah. And like some people may assume that it's just Advil, not to the addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's Percocet to them.
You're right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because they don't see the level of the substance. They see the act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my son brought up a really cool point. He was like, it's almost like smoking a cigarette in front of someone who has a crack addiction.
Yeah.
Right? It may not be crack cocaine, but smoking to them is
that fix.
Yeah. Whereas this may be some sort of just nasty habit for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like when we look at the text in that regard, like, yes, there are liberties. Yes, there are things that, we have the liberty to do. But in the grand scheme of things, if it's going to cause my brother to stumble, then I don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Especially in front of him.
Yeah.
Especially in front of her.
Amen, dude.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like this is cool for you, but like also, and I don't know why God, decided to, call me to ministry, man, and put me in this, this role. But honestly, I know me, and I know I need structure.
Yeah.
And responsibility. And when you look at the Garden of Eden, you look at the man, right? God gave him stuff to do. He gave him a wife. He gave him a garden. He gave him, animals to name.
Mm-hmm.
He gave him responsibility and structure, things that he could steward.
Mm-hmm.
Because a man that does not have anything to steward is a dangerous man.
Very dangerous.
A dangerous man.
It's the worst type of person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all sexism implied. Yeah, right. No, men, yeah. That's probably why you started Man Up and Educate.
Man, really, honestly, and really Man Up and Educate. That was a dope transition, by the way. That's really good, man. Yeah, look at you. That was good, bro. That was really good. Yeah, man. Definitely pat yourself on the back. Man Up and Educate, man. was really honestly is me giving back, paying it forward to what was done for me.
Yeah.
Man, 6th grade, bro, I probably was in school suspension or suspended from school more days than I was even in the classroom.
I can see it after you say it, but if you never said that, I think you were a model citizen.
The crazy part about it, I had straight A's, man. Straight A's, and I'm always in trouble. And like my middle school football team was so good. So we didn't lose a game in middle school. 7th and 8th grade, we went undefeated. And like everybody wanted to be on this football team. And I was starting on my Pee Wee football team. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm about to start a guard on this team too. But I couldn't stay out of trouble. And my and shout out to him, man. The football coach, Fred Parker. He HBCU grad, he went to Mississippi Valley State, played for the Green Bay Packers. And just he worked like basically behavior intervention at the school and coach football. And he told me I wasn't gonna be able to play in the 7th grade, and it crushed me. Mm. And I wrote him a letter, man.
You were that,
bro. I was in the 6th
Dear
grade.
Stan.
I wrote him a letter, bro.
Wait, for what?
I was like, I apologize for my behavior. If you let me play football, I promise I'll change. I won't get in trouble.
I ain't never been that emotional, bro.
Oh, bro, listen, hey, I'm an emotional guy, man. Hey, you know what, man? He gave me a second chance after I wrote that letter.
Okay.
Here's the crazy part. When he retired, he told my mom, bro, I wrote this letter in 1998.
Yeah.
He just retired a few years back. He told me, he's like, I still got that letter on my bulletin board.
He probably cried.
Bruh. Like when I tell you, I was like, and I don't have a lot of vivid memories, like touchstones, my therapist calls them, from my childhood, because I feel like it was just really rushed, and I just don't really remember a lot of things that happened. But I remember a lot of my interactions with him. A lot of my interactions. I mean, he really, really cared, man. And yeah, like there's been like at various points in my life, there's always been a man that's been right there, right? Like even when I was like working way too much.
You had a dad too, right? Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm about to mention.
Yeah.
I was working a lot. This was like 2017, 2018. And my dad was like, hey, them kids ain't gonna be little forever. You working too much. You need help out more around the house. And at first I had a lot of resentment. Cause I was like, bro, my mama did most of the heavy lifting with us. What you mean? But I had to remember, man, it was coming from a sincere place.
Coming from love.
Yeah. And so man up and educate, man. Shout out to my dad, man. You know, anytime he's a very competitive guy, you know, and like, you know, my dad he would beat us in like Madden and NCAA. You know.
We grew up. That's how I know you talked to my dad. Yeah. Keep going.
So we, man, literally basketball outside, lifted weights. Like my dad was competitive, man. And he would always like anytime if like he would outlift me or outrun me or beat me in basketball or do more push-ups than me, be like, boy, you better man up, sweetie. Like he would say that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh yeah. So when I created the mentoring program, I was like, man up and educate. So what I wanted to do was really express this mindset of manhood, and instill it in young boys through responsibility, service, and accountability. Because I think I know majority of the problem that we see with a lot of our men in our community, and I mean the Black community, a lot of the problem we see, there's a lack of responsibility, there's a lack of accountability, or they're not serving something higher than themselves. Yeah.
It's really that last one.
Yeah.
It's really that, because the other two will come.
The other two will come with that. You see what I'm saying?
I done been through it. I done lived it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? When you serving God, bro, you convicted.
I done lived it. Yeah.
You convicted. You like, dang, bro, I really shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so now, you know, you like, let me pivot. Yeah. So that's really what, you know, prompted me to come up with this organization. And right now, Royal Manor Elementary School, I got a group of fifth graders, and at Cassidy Elementary, I got a group of third graders. Man, really the goal is to really derail the school to prison pipeline, bro.
Yeah.
And I use literacy tools with some of the work, so that they're not only learning about those three pillars, but they're also learning about they're also increasing their reading comprehension skills.
You teaching them any therapeutic terms, too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Like
man.
touchstones. I ain't heard of that. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm teaching them, especially, man, we have emotional will, man. So I have them pick, like, hey, what emotion are you experiencing right now?
That's awesome.
You know, so that they're not just confined to this idea of good, bad, okay.
Like the card system. You remember the cards in school? You just get on red or yellow?
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, man, like, well, what does this mean? Red, yellow, green, okay.
Red is bad. Red's my favorite color.
Right, you know? And so yeah, that's how it started, man. And you know, the goal is to just create young men that are leaders.
Yeah.
And those who are already leaders, because some of them come in already having those tenets because they've been taught at home, just to enhance those skills.
It's good.
And yeah, man, that's man up and educating in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
the reason, just walk with me real quick. The reason why Andrew Tate and like Dan Bilzerian, people, you know who that is? Yeah. The reason why people like that, and Andrew Tate, he's openly said that he puts on a facade, right? Like, but the reason why they rose to power is because like back 2020 to 2022, we were ripping at the fabric of society of what a man and a woman was, right? So he was loud enough and he catered to what the flesh wanted, right? But people like yourself, people like Martin Luther King, people like Malcolm X, like they really tapped into protecting like the actual spirit gates that we have, right? I think it's important that Man Up Educate exists and things like that, because these kids and young adults, people like myself and older, we ain't got nothing to hold on to but the people who are older than us. You know? Yeah, we can talk to ourselves, right? And I might be a couple years older, somebody might be a couple years younger. You could look up or look next to somebody, but like people like you, people like my dad, people like my uncle, you know, people like Robert Solomon, like are imperative to not only the Black community but any young man that like needs somebody to look at. Like I remember I used to tell my dad, I'm like, hey man, like it'd just be out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I was like, Dad, you know, I really respect you, like, just taking care of us, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, getting up, going to work, coming home, being a dad, taking us, coaching us in football, all that stuff. Like, that stuff matters.
Yeah.
You know? Take me through, like, what Malcolm X did for you. You know? Because I know the Black Panthers were labeled as a terrorist group. I know Malcolm X, he was like Nation of Islam. Like he's in that 5%er like range and everything like that. Like when you read that autobiography, like what type of values of a man did he instill in you, or his story?
Yeah. And I'll start this by, you know, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, man, is a very integral piece to social service programming. You know, the version of WIC that we have today, a lot of those community programs they built really started through some of those community programs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, there's, and you get in the weeds enough, you know, you'll find negativity with anything.
Yeah.
But I sit back and I think, man, like guys like Fred Hampton and Huey P. Newton, like these dudes in their 20s, galvanizing people, mobilizing people.
How old is Marcus Garvey when he was talking about going back to Africa?
I mean, I don't know the exact age. I'd have to look it up, but I mean, still, man, these dudes were fairly on the young end of their life. You know what I mean? And the Malcolm X is special to me. He's special to me because he, number one, well traveled, just as a person. He saw various parts of the world, and I couldn't imagine like flying from New York to Ghana in like the 60s.
That
Like,
would have been crazy.
that would have been crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
at least you can look at like a virtual tour on your
Right.
phone or something.
Right. I could watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it probably just, and then people smoking on planes, and it was probably insane back then. But anyway,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, so the biggest thing for me, man, is like just listening to his story and seeing how he got to where he was. So number one, obviously his father was murdered. Number two, he, was searching, and as a young man, between drugs and women and selling dope and running the streets, he finds himself incarcerated. And a lot of times individuals find themselves in that pit. They're looking for structure. They're looking for belonging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, NOI provided him with that. And regardless of what, side of the religious spectrum a person may fall on, at the end of the day, I'm also about positivity, man. And you doing something peaceful in your neighborhood, I can work with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We may have different theological differences, and that's fine. But one of the biggest things was the things that he said, even in speeches like Ballot or the Bullet, even his thought process on the vitriol that Black women face in America. These things still reign true today.
Yeah.
And it's funny, man. Because I've read the book a number of times. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X a number of times. But I actually listened to it this last time around. I listened to it because I thought it was super cool that Lawrence Fishburne was narrating it. And there were times, because I've listened to a number of Malcolm X speeches, there were times that I forgot that it was Lawrence Fishburne. He is that great of an actor. You get a chance, he has a monologue that he did too. I think it's on Thurgood Marshall that he did on HBO that was just stupendous.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with Malcolm, there was just like a lot of tenets of there were a lot of principles and solutions that I think if we pour into today as a community, I think there's a number of things that we can do for our sakes.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. Like, I think, and everybody who's gonna like come up, because people come up to me in real life and, and comment. Everybody's gonna come up to me in real life after this. Please just follow what I'm saying. Like, I think that militant approach to masculine Christianity would serve us a lot better than this hippie Jesus take that people have about who God was.
Man, I have a theory, bro. Mm-hmm. I have a theory because I grew up, I'm here at the Church of Christ at Genessee Avenue, and I've been serving here for 7 years now. But man, I grew up in old school Church of Christ. Like, and I know you probably can relate to this as well. Man, I grew up like all the men sat on the front row, suit, tie. Women didn't wear pants. Bro, it was wild.
No,
I remember my mom rushing home on a Wednesday to change because she wore scrubs to work. She was a nurse.
Mm.
She would rush home. We got to get home. I'm about to go in here and change. Don't get out the car. Right? Like, she would go in and change. We'd be sitting in the car. Oh, my God, bro. Like, and yeah, man. Like, that was real.
Yeah.
And, like, there was a sense of, there was, like, that order and that militant nature and behavior even to a lot of our old school Black churches. Those community tenets, man. And then you got to think about it. In a season of oppression, people latch on to identity. this is why even in the church, right? The church has a vital role in the community because Brother Jones in 1960 was a garbage collector.
Yeah.
And he couldn't eat at various lunch counters, so he had to carry his lunch to work. And people would bump into him on the sidewalk and call him all sorts of names and scream the epithets at him. But on Sunday morning, Brother Jones could throw on a nice suit, man, and a tie, right?
Yeah.
And pick his fro out, right? And get his family, and they get in that sedan.
Yeah.
And they drive to church, bro. And when he walked in this building, he was a deacon.
He's respected.
He was respected. So you know what I'm saying? Like the idea of being connected to the church, there is a cultural dynamic to it for us as Black people that exist because this was a place of pride for us, man.
Yeah.
A lot of Black men had pride 3 places if they were lucky. Church, they were respected. The barbershop.
Yeah.
And hopefully at home.
Yeah. You had to earn your respect at the barbershop, though.
Oh, for sure.
Still do.
You still do. I tell my son, I said, man, y'all are blessed, bro. I had to go to the barbershop.
These barbershops are nice today. Yeah, they're
you
nice.
Got appointments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was my mama waking us up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Hey, get up. We going to the barbershop. And she would drop us off and go do her errands, run her errands. We'd be waiting in there, bro. It'd be 10 o'clock.
Hours.
11 o'clock. Yeah. Oh, y'all next.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like as far as this idea of some of the things that just really in community, man, like when I look at people like Dr. King and Malcolm X and individuals like that, that idea of community really, really inspires me. I see a guy like Dr. King and the Student Leadership Conference and really just putting together a wealth of knowledge through a number of people that had the same goals in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope that we spend more time looking at history through the lens of those who were supporting the work, and not just the people who are out front in front of the camera, because there's some beautiful minds. You know, like the Fred Grays, who's an attorney for Dr. King, you know, individuals like that were extremely pivotal in their roles to ensure that the work continued. And so,
you know who Henrietta Lacks is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I like
they did a whole bunch of research without consent.
Yeah. But even that, I feel like, you know, her name lives on. And her work lives on, even though her family is still getting disrespected. So for those who don't know, she cured, I think, several forms of cancer with her red blood cells.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't pay her family, didn't credit her, didn't do nothing like that. It's only through research and history and probably somebody holding somebody at some sort of social gunpoint to actually tell the truth for us to get this information. But my thing is, even mentioning that, like, there's so many people who want to be like an Andrew Tate or Malcolm X or Dan Bilzerian. I'm saying Andrew Tate in a bad way, like, without knowing the amount of work that they need to do on their perspective of taking care of their brother and sister in the community. Like, I'm coming clean. You know what I mean? I haven't had that mindset at all the time, but it comes from like not realizing that person that is sitting across from you that you're looking in the face, that's your family, man.
Yeah,
it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter what they look like. It don't matter where they're from or what religious belief they hold at the end of the day. Like, that's why it's so crazy to me that they would that they would kill these people, you know?
Well, I mean, man.
Like, bro, you gonna murder somebody actually putting in work for the community like that?
Yeah.
Like murder? Murder?
When you when progress is seen as a threat,
Yeah.
you do whatever you can to eliminate that threat.
All right. Oh, I don't want to cut you off, but I made a couple songs in my day. And
Okay.
There's this one lyric that I got. It says but the death of MLK has me feeling away. Is being an extroverted leader the best approach for today?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think our community needs a Martin or a Malcolm.
Why not?
I don't think we need that. I think we need a collective of people, right? We need a collective of people who are going to work together so that the credit is the community and not one person.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I think Malcolm was all about.
He was
given credit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's the most famous one.
But what I'm saying is that when you have that linear approach to community activism, what happens is if they take that leader out, what are you left with?
The head of the snake is cut off.
Right. Yeah. We see a lot of
everything you say makes sense now, because in that same sermon about being a fisherman, you were like, we can't accept this because it wasn't on my hook.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, right. Okay, all right, I'm with you.
Okay.
You're a clever guy.
So when we go back to that sermon, right?
Yeah.
The Bible says that they had so much fish in the net that they couldn't carry it themselves. They had to motion other people over.
Yeah.
Right? But the mindset of self-interest, what will it do to you? Man, that's their fish, bro. I ain't going out there helping them with that. Whereas it's like, nah. But then the crazy part is they catch all this fish, they bring it to the shore, and Jesus like, follow me. Like, bro, what about all this food? What about all this money? We sell this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? This is how I make my living. They walked away from that to follow him. So I was in a situation, man, where I picked up another job and I quit. Literally. Woke up in the morning and
bro, I would go get baptized right now, bro. See, like, if I wasn't already baptized twice, I would get baptized right now, bro.
Yeah, no, man. And I walked away from the job, man, because it was, number one, taking me away from my family, taking me away from my calling, my assignment. And the crazy thing is, bro, I've been chilling. I've been chilling.
And you're going to get the house in Jesus' name.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Praise the Lord.
For
yes,
sure.
Indeed. You know, and you know, and not to circle the wagon too much, but yeah, man. And that's why I had that picture up there, man.
For those who don't know, he has a beautiful picture of Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali
holding their children.
Yeah. And can you tell me what you were telling me when I was first in here?
Because it humanizes that leader, man. It humanizes them.
Yeah.
Everything in this office is intentional.
Yeah.
I know I need to organize some
of it. It's fine.
But it's intentional. It's intentional from that picture to this. This shows you this humanizes me. That, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan, unfortunately. But that picture with the F on it.
Yeah.
Man, those are my 8th graders made that for me, man.
Oh.
When I taught those kids, man, those are all my 8th graders. And
that's awesome.
And I've carried it with me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? So it's just a representation of who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And I just want, because like I think about that, man. Like I think about, yes, he was a leader. Yes, he's speaking all over the world. But to know that people threw bricks through your house, set your house on fire while your babies was inside. Because of the fact that you wanted better for your own people.
Yeah. Reminds me of that scene from Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. Impactful movie. But that's also, to their credit, that's also why people are completely upset at why Charlie Kirk got shot like that.
Right.
Because you say what you will, he was actually going out there and in his own convoluted way trying to do something better. He was. Like,
better in his perspective.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was pushing divisiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pushing the divide further.
Yeah. You know, he had some horrible rhetoric. Yeah,
bro, you ain't got to tell me. I already know.
Yeah.
You know,
it was bad.
It's that rhetoric is one of the challenges of our community right now, because there's so many individuals who I mean, there's a, not to swing the pendulum another
I
place.
don't want to talk about a white man. We're talking about powerful, strong black men. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. But what I'm saying is we live in a society, man, where there's a community for everything.
Tribalism.
The tribalism, like there's a community for everything, man. So like, if you don't want to be held accountable, you could just find a community that actually believes in the foolishness that you're doing. So you can just,
that's so true.
You know what I mean? Like, you could just, all right, well, this is what I want to do. There's a community for it. And I imagine in 10 seconds, we could probably find a website. Anything you want to find, there's a community, bro. And you can pack up your stuff and you can move to wherever you want to move because there's a community for it. And that's the hard part about life right now. Even the high sense of morality is like really trying to push people to understand that Christianity is not about modifying behavior, man. That idea of righteousness and justice, man, it's like you said earlier, who is my neighbor, right? Loving your neighbor as yourself, loving your enemy, man. Like really understanding that there's a lot of things that are happening on this earth, bro, and we have to attribute those things to the power of the evil one, of Satan, bro.
Yeah, it's not white people for people who are screaming right now at me. It's not white people. It's literally the devil, and he's going to use anybody who's trying to do evil and things of the flesh to promote that.
Still, kill, destroy.
Yeah, literally.
So
it's not one group, because if the roles were reversed, historically we haven't seen black people do this to others. But like, eventually, evil people get in power and do evil things. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Whoever said that. But
that's man, quote.
I forgot who said it. It's like it reminds me of that "let them eat cake" quote, which is not a real. She didn't actually say that. Marie Antoinette. She didn't actually say that, but it's still fire. But yeah, it's about. Yeah, I love that you have that picture, because when you said that to me the first time, I was like, "Dang, bro, they are dads." Immediately made me think of my own parents. Yeah, I was like, "Oh." Yeah, I understand why you have this now.
And that's why I said both ends, because again, like even these individuals like Kirk, yeah, he was somebody's dad, bro.
Yeah.
He was somebody's husband.
I went home and hugged my wife that day, and I was like, this is probably all he wanted to do, was just lay down and be here with her. He can't do that. And I shed a tear. I was like, wow.
But it's also a testament to the fact that, man, we got to be careful, bro.
Yeah.
We got to be careful, man. We got to be careful in everything that we do, and it's imperative. I was watching an interview Killer Mike was doing, and he was saying something really interesting. He was talking about the fact that he wants to be involved in politics, but he was like saying that like he wants to be at a place financially where he doesn't need anybody for anything before he, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the super PACs get in and start talking to you.
Yeah, bro, and you've been on. They be like, man, what happened to Marq?
Yeah, you get sponsored by Cash App, and then you realize that they support what is it? Planned Parenthood, killing people or killing babies, abortion. And you're like, oh, okay, now I'm locked into this contract, and I have to say these things this way.
So, man, I don't know if you listen to there's another podcast I was listening to, and they were actually talking about dark money. Yeah, man, dark money, bro. It was kind of crazy that like some of these podcasters and some of these influencers are having people that are coming to them and that are like, yo, we want to sponsor you. Here's the contract, blah, 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 blah. And then like basically dark money means like you don't really know where the money's coming from.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Right. Like it could be, it could come through the lens of a of a brand.
Yeah.
But really, it's somebody that's funding that brand that's on some dark, sadistic type stuff, man.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it like,
they're trying to get canceled.
Yeah.
We're just edifying black people.
Yeah. No. But for real, like it's just, but you think about that, man, because money talks. And when you get yourself put in positions of power or influence, you got to be really careful. And so then when you see a person, and that was another thing too, man. One of the reasons why I quit that job, because it didn't change my life. And that's why I was like, this is foolish. I'm living the same way that I was living before I picked up this extra job. Ain't nothing changed. I'm just working more. And if my son want a pair of Jordans, I don't have to think about it.
Mm.
But it's like, nah, bro, life was meant to be lived in a different way.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, bro. So that's how I could see when I look at somebody, and of course, he has way more money than I do, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But I could see why Dave Chappelle was like, yeah, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah. I mean, you know the story.
Yeah.
He was doing a joke, and the producers were just laughing at him. He was like, hold on, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting laughed at by these white people. What's that? Yeah. I respect that, but then, like, they own him too. They own him too right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because of, everybody was taking that money to go to Saudi Arabia and everything like that. Yeah, so they own him about that. But.
Man, you know how it goes, though, bro. Anytime you taking money from somebody, man, there's an old economical term.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, man.
Very true.
No such thing as a free lunch.
Very true.
And I just sometimes I sit back and I think like what people have had to go through to get to where they are, and I just want to be at peace, man. I don't really have any aspirations to, be able to, over here just stunting and buying stuff just to buy it. Like, nah, man. I want to be able to pay for my kids to go to school where they don't have to take out no debt, no loans, have me a nice enough crib with an office and a studio, and I can make music and write books. And, love my family. I'm a simple guy, man. I'm a real simple guy. And so I just know too, man, at the end of the day, we just need good-hearted people in the world, man. And I every day I wake up, man, I ask God, please allow me to increase the positivity here on earth today. Like, I'm not one to bring no negativity. I don't like negativity.
Pessimism.
Yeah, man. I don't like pessimism. Like I need some. I need folk. Let's be happy, man.
Too many things to be negative and sad about. One thing to be happy about, dude, you do have a book. I see why your friend said, like, you got to be more expressive, because we just haven't talked on that yet.
Oh, yeah, my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, the leader that society did not choose.
Yeah.
Pandemic, man. Pandemic had some time.
Were you still preaching?
Yeah, okay. I was here. Because,
you were here. I did see those videos.
I got here 2019. Was here for a year, and then the world shut down.
No.
Yeah, man. Literally just left the meeting at the mayor's office.
Man.
And by the time I got home, they were saying that all this...
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Social distancing. Go get your groceries.
I can't.
So
I've been outside every day since then.
Yeah, so I wrote this book, man. I wrote this book called The Leader That Society Did Not Choose. It's through the lens of David. Society didn't choose David. God chose David.
The way we worship is because of David.
Yeah.
God was like, I like this. This is kind of dope.
Yeah. So David, and then even in the midst of many of his mistakes, his heart still pointed toward God.
Yeah.
And I was writing that book, man, because I went to a school that traditionally supported by the Churches of Christ. It's a historically Black institution. And I went to that school. That school was put out a lot of preachers in our context.
It's good.
And I didn't go there to be a preacher. I went to throw the shot put. But I left, preaching the gospel, man.
Good.
Even now, man, my peers, man, it's funny, man. They kind of be like, wow, bro, this is kind of crazy. Like, we never thought you'd be a preacher. I was like, you're not alone, because I didn't think I'd be a preacher. But man, I always was like, I had an affinity for those who served in pastoral roles. I remember in the 3rd grade, you know how they ask you, like, you promoting, like, what do you want to do in the church when you grow up? And I said I wanted to be an elder, man. Because I used to see how, like, the elders in my church, like, I always thought they was, like, real cool dudes, man. Like, they was, like, always on point. I was like, man, they, like, cool guys. I never really just wanted to be out front. But the book, man, I wrote it. It tells us a lot of story about my life, a lot of leadership tenets. There's some musical influences. They're not chapters. They're labeled as tracks.
Okay.
So like track 1, track 2, track 3.
That's actually cool.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna keep that theme going with the next book that I
That's
write.
freaking dope. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had this epiphany, man, reading The Souls of Black Folk by W.B. Du Bois.
Yeah.
And I was like, man,
I gotta read that one.
Yeah, you do,
dude,
bro.
I
feel like it'd be a great book for you to read.
There's a few I gotta read. I gotta finish The Foolish Genius first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I gotta pick up yours. And then I'm gonna buy yours though, because we can't do all this talking about uplifting the community. Like, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, no, but you know, like I said, I was just looking up there too if there's anything else I think you probably should read. But, yeah, I wrote the book, man, and it was a great experience. But I also know that literature lasts longer than we live, right? And, you know, it may be 2092 and there's some young preacher that's in a half-price bookstore or whatever it is, and he sees this book, The Leader That Society Did Not Choose, and he looks at it, he's like, man, that's a pretty cool
It's
title.
kind of cool,
Yeah, and he goes home to his wife and his young children. He's like, I found this book today. And he looks through it and he reads it and it inspires him and he does something great in the community, all because of something that I wrote during the pandemic. And then he tells his friends over lunch, like, man, do you know he wrote this during the pandemic? And they're like, wow, man, the pandemic that happened in 2020. Like, that's how my mind wanders, man. Like, my mind thinks along those lines.
Generationally.
Yeah, generationally, man. Like, one of my biggest dreams, bro, is just be a grandfather, bro. I just want to be somebody's granddad, man. Like, want to have grandkids, pick them up to school.
I see our Uncle Derek and my dad like light up when their grandkids come around, and I can't comprehend it because I don't even have a kid.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what having a grandchild is like.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you see the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of this hard work. You know, you putting in this work for your family and your legacy lives on.
Yeah.
And you see it. Like, you see it. You're like, wow, the tenets of manhood that I instilled in my son, he's going to be able to instill in the next generation. Yeah. And it's a beautiful feeling, man. It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, man. Well, they'll probably label us a terrorist organization.
I don't think so, man. I think, you know,
shout out to free speech. Like,
absolutely.
However we got it.
Absolutely. But I think too, these are conversations that need to be had. And to be honest, I think we would be better off in society if we had these conversations with people that think different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I welcome people with constructive criticism and people that like, dude, I could tell you story after story about people who call me a fake Christian, man. I could tell you story after story. I go out and tell you about atheist after atheist that said everything which way about God, and it just strengthens my faith, dude. And seeing people like you, seeing people like our families, you know, and the grandchildren they have, it continues to strengthen my faith in God. It doesn't wither.
Well, this is intentional, man.
Yeah.
This is so intentional, even beyond us. Because before this happened on this day, before you decided to become a husband, before God even put me in position to be able to officiate that, he had been preparing us for this moment.
Yeah.
So let us not miss what this moment is. He knew that we needed to have this conversation, just like God knew that I needed to meet your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like you understand me a lot more because you know my dad at a deep level.
Oh yeah, man. You know your pops, man. I love talking about fatherhood. Him, man. Yeah, I love talking about fatherhood, man. You know, and I know that this may sound like cliche, bro, but like you could just tell.
Yeah.
Like I could just tell how he interact with y'all. Like I know there probably some times, bro. Like, y'all probably joke about it now because y'all grown. But I know your daddy got after y'all, man. Like on a daily basis. I know he did.
Oh, my mom used to, because I used to cry when we would play video games because he wouldn't let me win. And then my mom was like, would you let the boy win like one time?
Absolutely not.
And then it was NFL 2K5.
Oh, okay. We went back with that one.
When I beat him for the first time. And I looked at him, I was like, do you let me do that? He was like, nah. And he was like, play me again. I was like, nope. Oh man, dude, me and my dad got war stories.
Yeah.
My dad, one time we were playing NCAA 14, and I had done something crazy on the sticks, and he paused the game. Kid you not, paused the game, stood up, slammed the controller. He's like, "I'll be back." Hour later, he came back with a controller, plugged in, we hooked it up, kept playing.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but that's just
But see, that's what I'm saying though, man. Like those stories are pivotal. Those things are pivotal, and there's a number of things that I could tell you about me and my sons, and and one of the things that like I've really tried to implement with them is like to be your own person.
Yeah,
because like they're all very different, but all very similar, and they've taught me so many things.
Yeah,
like bro, I ain't watch anime growing up.
Anime is awesome. I don't watch it no more,
but I thought it was whack. Like, to be honest.
Joke's on you.
No, it is. It is. It really is. And I'm like, man, like I'm watching it now. I'm like, bro, I really missed out on this.
I'm going to send you a Substack article about, there's this movie called Spirited Away. It's an anime.
Okay.
But it talks about how lust literally controls you and how it turns you into a different creature. Because in the story, it was turning people, their greed was turning them into different animals and stuff.
Wow.
Like bro, the article was amazing. I was like, I never thought of it like that.
Because me and my son, man, we've been watching this one called Vinland Saga. And bro, it's legit.
Yeah.
Like the storyline.
They be teaching life lessons
like,
there, man.
Bro, this is crazy.
Yeah. You get a couple sermons out of anime.
Man, listen, I have. You feel me? So, again, man, I just had to throw that plug in there, man. No, I appreciate you, man. This was fun. Yeah. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, and this isn't a one-time thing, dude. We'll talk again when it's time. But is there anything you want to say to somebody like 3-4 generations from now, or your kids or something like that, that you know you need to say?
Man, walk in purpose, man. Walk in your purpose. If that's music, give your all to it.
Yeah.
Like give your all, give everything you have. If it's preaching, if it's evangelism, if it's community activism, if it's doing makeup, if it's being a barber, like just walk in it.
Yeah.
Like please. Because I feel like we have so many people that are doing things. They're in places that are out of position. They're not doing what they were called to do. They're not doing what they were purposed to do. Right? And just be that person that walks in your purpose. There's something that just feels like you that you don't. I could tell interviewing people, you don't have to try at this. Cause I've had some. I've been on podcasts, and some podcasts like, so can you tell me about?
Yeah, for the people who don't know, I walked in with no pre-production, no script, nothing. We just started talking.
But you did your research.
100%.
You did your research.
Because I love it. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Like talking to subject matter experts. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, you did your research. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
And I also appreciate preparation.
Yeah.
Regardless of what that preparation looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, just back to what I would say, man, walk in purpose, and really trust God and know that when you're walking in purpose, you will never fail.
Amen.
Yeah, and that's what I would
say.
Yeah,
and before you go, it doesn't have to be like the level of the person you aspire to like beat or take over. You can be an entrepreneur, make $40K a year, and be happy doing that now. Seriously.
Yep.
So, yeah, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Where can they find you?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram, Vince Ford 2. That's TOO.
Okay.
Vince Ford 2. And TikTok, man, Vince Ford 86 on TikTok.
The first 85 we're taking.
Yeah, right. So 85. But yeah, so Vince Ford 86 on TikTok, and Twitter, I think, is the same thing.
Okay.
Vince Ford 86. Facebook.
Soon to be on Substack. I'll plug that.
Yeah, definitely soon to be on Substack. I'm gonna get that all set up and just really start cranking out some writing and some articles.
Yeah, man. You guys know where to find me too. Love you guys. Bye. See ya.